Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show how to represent the budget variance report that we earlier did on a chart. So in other words, instead of showing the figures, can we make use of the chart? So the chart is said that when you change the date, then it's able to change the chart to represent the amount of the actual as well as the budgeted amount. For those who have not watched the earlier tutorials on how I came up with the budget variance, I earlier did a budget variance with the figures indicating the budgeted amount, the actual and the variance, and then there was a request as to how it will be represented in using a chart instead of videos to show as a form of a dashboard. So today is a very simple process, and I'm going to show you how I went about this. Most of these tutorials have been covered, especially with regards to the various properties of the chart, had been done by me earlier on, about 84 or 83 videos on various properties of Power Up. So if you take any particular control, like a chart that we are indicating, all other properties associated with the chart have been covered. So you can, I'll put the description below so you'll be able to follow. So to create the chart, you insert a blank row or a blank screen. Then we can virtually use the same formula that we use for the variance reports. So you just copy everything that we had using the chart, and that is why I said when you watch that video, it will help you to move along with this. So in this case, you go to the insert button, you insert a column chart. There are so many, about 3 kinds of chart that you can do in Power Up: column charts, line charts, pie charts. Then you can also link your chart from Power BI. In this particular instance, the best approach that we could use is for the column chart that will clearly indicate the budgeted amount and the variance. So when you insert the column chart, let me increase the font size a little bit. You click on the column chart, then we have an items property. So there are so many properties associated with the chart, and that is a reason why I recommended you watch my tutorials on the Power Up properties for beginners if you are not too familiar with the properties associated with the chart. Then with the chart, you just copy the formula we had on the items property of this and then paste it. I will just paste it just because we have already done it. I don't want to repeat the same thing. So then you just change this, and that is it. This should indicate the various lines. So we have the rent, insurance, all of them shown here. Now it's the figures a little bit clumsy, so we can go to the markers property and set it to false. That will remove all those descriptions from it, so that we only have the charts. Now, to be able to show, in order not to mess up sales, income and expenditure, and if you want to show only income, you can insert a drop down. You can insert a drop down control, and so that you'll be able to filter only income or expenditure. So in this case, let me just create a simple table here: income, expense. I'll be able to filter. Okay, so in that case, you go to the item properties of the chart and then filter based on the drop down. So the name of the drop down is drop down 1. Change the item property, filter with the type. The column that we are looking at is the type. Previously I used this, and the type is where we have the expense and the income. Okay, so per type is equal to drop down 1 dot selected dot value. Okay, so in this case, because we have chosen only income will be shown. When I choose expense, expenditure will also be shown. Okay, you can also filter with the dates, just as we did earlier. In this case, we put in the date pickers. Put in the date pickers as we did earlier. I'll put it a little bit up, and the date picker is date picker 3, so you can just change the code to reflect date picker 3. So it should be start date. Okay, so as and when you change the date, for example, changing it to February, then you see that the chart will reflect the chosen. The last thing to do is that you see that we are having only one column representing the actual. Now you can change a property called the number of series. The number of series will indicate the number of columns that should be shown per category. So when we go to the number of series, when we go to the number of series, to be able to show both the actual and the budgeted amount for various line items, you can change the number of series to, so let's pick the chart itself. Then there's a property called number of series. You change it to 2, and you see that shows 2 columns per category. And I think let's also change the color to make it a little bit clearer. Item color set property. So with the item color set property, it indicates the number of the colors that should be shown. So I can say green, and then say yellow. Okay, so what it means is that for the budgeted amount, I'm showing yellow, and then for actual, I'm showing green. So this is basically how to go about it. It's a very simple process, and as you change the date, it reflects. Thank you very much. I hope this was very useful, and I hope I also put the link for the actual budget analysis on the description below. Thank you very much, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll be able to get videos as and when it comes. Thank you.